The girl who spoke to dogs. That night, the wind howled through the empty streets, as if it knew something terrible was about to unfold. The torches flickered in the darkness, casting eerie shadows as the sound of paws echoed off the stone ground. Something was coming, something no one was prepared for. Emma ran. Her dogs ran with her, fast as shadows. Her heart pounded in her chest, each beat louder than the last, but her eyes burned with fierce determination. She knew there was no turning back. The hunt had begun, and she was its target. "Catch her! Don't let her escape!" voices shouted from behind. Doors slammed shut, windows were hastily covered, and the town held its breath. Everyone knew Emma was no ordinary girl. She commanded the dogs, and that made her dangerous. Days earlier, Emma had lived in Eleanor Peterson's orphanage, where the cold-hearted woman ruled with sharp words and a bitter gaze. The other children avoided Emma, not understanding why the town's dogs followed her so loyally. They obeyed her commands without a word, as though they felt her emotions, her thoughts. "Children should control beasts," Eleanor would say, her voice thick with suspicion. "They're not beasts," Emma replied, her voice unwavering. "They are my family." But that night, everything changed. Rufus, the oldest of the dogs, lifted his ears. A low growl escaped his throat, and the others joined in. The air grew heavy, and Emma felt a chill run down her spine. Someone was coming, someone dangerous. The whispers began in the market square. "What if she controls more than just dogs?" one man murmured, his voice trembling with fear. "What if she can control us too?" another whispered. "She doesn't belong here," Eleanor hissed, her words unknowingly feeding the fear spreading like wildfire. As night fell, a thick silence blanketed the town. Then Emma heard the door of the orphanage splinter, followed by the sound of heavy boots. Men entered, their eyes wild with fear and hunger for power. They carried chains, ropes. "Don't run, girl. This will be quick," one man sneered. But Emma was already running. Her dogs appeared from the shadows, growling, their eyes glowing like embers in the night. A body fell to the ground, followed by the sickening sound of teeth sinking into flesh. But the men were too many. Emma was surrounded. Rufus, her most loyal friend, leapt forward, but then he stopped. His eyes, once fierce and filled with rage, went blank. Emma froze, her heart sinking. She saw Eleanor standing in the doorway, a bottle in her hand. The dark liquid dripped slowly from her fingers. Poison. Emma dropped to her knees. Rufus took his last breath, his body collapsing at her feet. The pain in her chest was unbearable, but something inside her twisted, something darker, something deeper. "Now you understand, Emma," Eleanor whispered, kneeling beside her. "You never had power. They followed you because we allowed it. Now, you are alone." The blood spread across the floor, the sound of desperate howls echoing through the night. Then Emma raised her eyes, and something inside her changed. The rage that burned within her became a force so primal, so powerful, it made the very air tremble. The sound that filled the night was not a howl or a growl. It was deeper, more ancient. The dogs stopped, their bodies shaking, their eyes glowing in the dark. And then, without Emma needing to say a word, they moved. Eleanor and the men tried to flee, but it was too late. The dogs were upon them in an instant, their attacks swift and merciless. The screams of the men mixed with the sounds of teeth tearing through flesh. The smell of blood filled the air, heavy and thick. And then, silence. By dawn, the town was empty. No residents remained, only Emma and her dogs were left. For the first time, they chose to stay. And Emma, standing amidst the ruins, felt a strange mix of victory and emptiness. She had won. But at what cost? What had she become? "Did you enjoy the story?" Emma's voice echoed in the stillness. "If you want to hear more, subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't miss the next tale, if you dare to listen."